Hi everyone, welcome to another video. So as you can see, my skin is not really cooperating with me right now. I've just got these humongous spots. I literally got this like a month ago at this point. It's so dumb. But as I mentioned in other videos, I did get the Valentine's collection off of Selfridges. I got this off of Macy's because the blush actually sold out on Selfridges. So I had to buy it from Macy's and pay the US tax because Tom Ford is sometimes Tom Ford is anywhere from a little bit to significantly cheaper on Selfridges. Like the quads are $81 instead of $90, so not a big difference there. But the blush was like $75 or $76 and like it was $90 to $95 on Macy's, which was just insane. But it has a heart on it, so what can I say? So I also had a Ulta coupon for 15 off 50 that I wanted to use, and I've actually been really wanting to try this for quite some time now, the NARS Light Reflecting Foundation. I've actually been wanting to try this for probably about 6 to 8 months now, but I just never had a good opportunity to buy it. I used to not be able to get it and get the coupon, but now it's $52, so I got it and got $15 off. Excellent, wonderful, yay. So with that, I'm gonna go ahead and get started. So I'm very sorry for the long introduction. I'll try and clip it down as best I can. I really want to use this. I've been testing this out and I'm going to use this. I haven't used this on camera yet and we'll see. The one thing I have noted about this Jelly Pot primer is that it does leave, like you can see, it does leave some tack. It doesn't feel as intensely hydrating as my current favorite Dominique Cosmetics one, and it kind of, like my skin doesn't necessarily feel ultra hydrated, and it also is a lot thicker in consistency. It doesn't like become more watery as you rub it in like my Dominique Cosmetics one does. It also does have the artificial watermelon scent if that is not up your alley, which I completely understand. I'm going to use this DASIQUE concealer palette. This is in the shade 01. It's a little bit more saturated than my usual Desem, and I definitely need that to color correct these extremely angry spots on my face. Oh yeah, this is really dry, what the heck? So I'm going to start with the foundation. Sorry, I'm kind of all over the place today. I wasn't able to sleep for very long last night. I didn't fall asleep till like 6, and then I woke up at 11, so I'm like kind of dazed. Some nights I just have really bad insomnia. Looking at it through the glass, it actually doesn't look too bad, but sometimes looks can be deceiving. So this will be my first time ever trying a NARS foundation. I'm usually not one to return things, but when I have a foundation that is blatantly not my shade, I will return it because it's just a waste otherwise. That's about the only makeup product I will actively return, is either if it's defective, broken, dried out, whatever, expired, whatever, or if it's a foundation that no matter what the situation, there's no universe in which I can make it work. The undertone is not too bad. It is like a pinch too warm, but okay, I completely forgot to do my under eye corrector, so we'll just have to deal. I'm just gonna have to suffer through it. So I'm going to use my concealer. And like, I was really surprised at how dried out the DASIQUE one is, especially because of the fact that my triple concealer is still going strong. I recently subscribed to and started binge watching the Nikki Rose's YouTube channel. I absolutely love her videos. They are so long and I just love that. I just love having something I can listen to and watch while I'm cleaning the house. And I also find her tips so far have been so great and amazing. So I've been trying to implement them where I can. She's the one that BK Beauty collabed with on their most recent brush release, and so because of that I thought I would look her up, and I am addicted to her videos right now. I have had so much fun catching up on them all, and I feel like I learn so much from her videos. So one of the things I've been practicing is when I apply my concealer, I've been really practicing being like super delicate and light. Okay, and then I'm going to use some setting spray. I do want to try the new D'Alba Truffle Spray. That one is not explicitly marketed as a setting spray anymore. It seems like it's more of a skincare thing that can incidentally be used on top of your makeup. But I do want to try it more for skincare than anything. I'm just going to tap on a very light amount of my Rare Beauty eye primer I'm going to take a tiny dab of setting powder and I'm going to use that. I do prefer to do eyebrows over powdered skin, so I'll do that. I do feel like the light reflecting foundation in combination with the Jelly Pop primer, it wasn't hydrating enough for me. My skin just doesn't have that plump, full feel that it does when it's really, really nicely hydrated. My skin just feels somewhat sunken and dull. Yeah, my skin is looking textured and dry right now that the foundation's had time to settle. I can see the potential for it to be so smoothing, but this Jelly Pop primer I don't actually think is very hydrating. It says like hydrating on the Ulta website, but I think this will be more of a summer primer for me. Yeah, my skin's just feeling and looking dry and tight. And I'm just gonna use my Benefit brow pencil. I'm just trying to use this up. Because of the fact that this pimple is running up right where I would generally extend out my eyebrows are going to be on the shorter side today. Honestly, it doesn't look too terribly bad. I feel like it probably, to some people, looks unnatural for me to extend my eyebrows all the way to the side of my head. It's just that my face is so long. Like, I have such a horse face that making my eyebrows longer and more straight helps to counterbalance that. I think that looks okay, and then I'll refine it obviously with my brow pen. So I'm going to use the brow flick next. This eyebrow didn't need very much at all. This eyebrow is going to need some help. I think I'm starting to run low on this. Now finally I'm going to start with the quad. This is not a new quad, this is a re-promote. I don't actually have the original Honeymoon, so when I saw that this was a re-promote, I was like, I don't have it. It came in the red dust pouch, which I do actually hold on to these, but the reason that I got this is because they're hearts. Is that not the cutest thing you've ever seen? Stop it. These are so adorable, and I can easily be pulled in by adequately adorable packaging. And while I'm at it, I'll go ahead and unbox the blush as well. This is in a new shade called Love Scene. It had a different name on Selfridges, but I mean, they're basically the same thing. I think it's just a difference of like country names. Again, it comes in its own little dust pouch, very adorable. It is a heart. Now, as you can see, it is a cropped heart, but a heart nonetheless. Also, I will say this blush color grabbed me instantly. Even if there had been no heart, I would have still gotten this. The color just immediately, like, it was over. I saw the color and I was like, I'm done. I want this color. There were lipsticks in the range as well. I would love to try a Tom Ford lipstick sometime. I've seen so many limited edition colors come and go that I would have loved to try, but they are so expensive. I really can't. I can't do it yet. I don't think this will be a complete quad for me, just because of the fact that if I want a brighter inner corner shade or if I want a matte shade, obviously I'll have to pull elsewhere, but luxury satins, when done well, are truly one of a kind and very special. I'll zoom in a little bit like this, right? Is this okay? You guys can see my nose. I'm going to start off with the darkest shade and then I will move up. This would be a formula that I'm not familiar with. I don't actually know what formula these are. I know he has a couple at this point. He's got the cremes, he's got the normal powders, he's got wet to dry. Now that I think about it, this brush is way too big. So I'm just using the darkest shade in this palette. No fallout. It looks like I got fallout because the brush went kind of everywhere. I thought I was gonna use a big brush and just sweep it all over, and then I realized very quickly that that was probably a bad idea. And just because this is my first time using Honeymoon period, I have no point of comparison for whether it's the same as Honeymoon or not. I know sometimes with luxury shadows, I'll like see a really dark shade and I'll dig into it, and then when I actually use it, it like has no pigmentation. This is pretty dark. So this is not going to be a super groundbreaking look. I feel like I've had quite a slew of videos on my channel that were pretty boring looks wise, but the reason I've not been filming with my more colorful palettes lately is because I really wanted to do multiple looks with them, but I don't have the energy to do that right now. So I'm just they're kind of like in purgatory. Okay, so I'm going to now go into this red here. I'm gonna take this it's slightly flattened as you can see, but it is still a little bit thicker. I think this will work well. Maybe I'll try using my finger, I don't know. I'm gonna just tuck this up on top of the previous shade and just keep building a gradient. Yeah, this shade is a little bit more shiny than the previous shade. still has a good amount of depth to it. I'm just so not used to like having all these wrinkles to have to contend with as I put my eyeshadow on. In and of itself, it is also pretty desaturated as well, and the light it does have a slightly pinky reflect to it, but it's in a way that is really understated and it looks really nice. I think my eyes are really dry today too. My eyelids are on the drier side today, so I feel like it's really affecting how the eyeshadow is laying on top. My whole skin looks really dry now too, like wow. I'm going to take a smaller brush and I'm going to take the darker shade on the lower lash line. I'm using a Sonia G. I'm just very slowly building it up. I'm deliberately trying to go in thinner layers because I don't want to put on too much at once. My skin is so dry right now. I'm like actually really annoyed right now at how dry my skin is. My skin looks awful and it feels so dry and it looks so dry. I don't like this. I need to figure out what is wrong with my skin. Sorry in advance that things are not looking the greatest. I do apologize. I mean, the eyeshadow looks fine, but the dryness of my eyelids is really compromising how well it looks. Like my eyelids are just so textured and they don't look that great. The eyeshadow primer dried it out, and so now my eyelids look crepey. I'm going to take this shade here and I'm going to use it to blend everything out because it seems like it's not too terribly like sparkly. Ooh, this shade is really pretty. And I am going to go ahead and blend out the lower lash line, bring it nice and far down as well. It's blending things out well. It's adding a nice golden warm tinge to everything. Yeah, there's also like, look at all of these bumps on my eyelids. I'm going to go in with my finger and take a little bit more of this red shade here, and I'm going to see if I can add just a little bit more presence. According to blog reviews using these work really well wet, so I think they should be fine with the finger. Oh yeah, that looks really good with the finger. Applying with the finger, you can see I'm able to blend out and manipulate the pigment very easily. I'm going to use this lash shade here. I'm going to use it on my lower lash line first to see just how shiny it actually is. Okay, so this is definitely going to be the most metallic shade in this palette, but it is still not very light and it's not sparkly either. Definitely a good lower lash line shade for me, but I will need something else for the inner corner. I feel like with these shadows, there also was almost like a top layer I had to break through. I guess I should have seen that coming because baked shadows and baked formulations sometimes do that. I don't use baked formulations often enough to remember this. I'm going to go ahead and take this shade and I'm going to use it on my finger. I'm going to use it on the center of my eyelid just for a little bit of interest. I'm just going to go straight across the middle. Yeah, these apply really well with the finger. I'm going to have to definitely experiment with this quad more. This is not really an eyeshadow formula I have experience with. I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of my face and then I'll do the lashes last because I think I'm going to go ahead and do false lashes today. Okay, so I'm going to try spraying on another layer of setting spray. Really focusing that on my cheeks and not as much on my eyes. I actually really like applying loose powder sometimes with my fingers. I rub it into my finger and then I use my finger actually to press it onto my skin. And I also feel like the warmth of my finger and the pressing motions just really pushes the powder into my pores and mixes it with the foundation to set it. I've actually noticed sometimes that using a brush to apply my powder when my skin is extra dry can actually aggravate my dryness because it'll pull up flakes. Like it'll pull up all of my dead skin. This is the same reason that I cannot use a foundation brush because it'll just pull up all of the dead skin cells and make my skin super flaky. I do have the Chikuhodo New Year's brushes. I don't have the dragon one yet. I'm hoping I can slot that into this month's budget. I do have those, but those are like display items. I don't actually use them, but I don't know, maybe I should start using them. With that being said, the next thing I'm going to use is the blush in Love Scene. There is a new Cafe Rose collection that got teased that I talked about in my makeup releases video, and the blush in that is going to be like a cream, and the shade of that looks divine. Oh my goodness. And I like that this blush seems like it should work with the quad. The quad is on the warmer side. And I know I'm using a very flimsy synthetic brush, so I'm not going to be picking up very much product at once. So if you're wondering why the pigmentation is going on so sheer, it is because of my choice of brush. I mean, I'm deliberately choosing to use a brush that I will have to apply more layers so that I can control how much I'm putting on. It looks to be completely matte. It looked matte in the pan too. It's not catching any light. Okay, I'm kind of want to like add more back here. I'm gonna really wrap it around my face this time, and I'm just gonna really tuck it under my eyeshadow as well. Provided that the formula was good, I knew I was gonna absolutely love this shade. It just has that soft watercolor, and it's also got the warmth. This is such a perfect blush. And I do like that it's matte. I do prefer matte blushes over glowy ones. I didn't zoom out yet, I just realized, but that's fine because you can see the blush now. So you can see that I wrapped it around my face, kind of up towards my temples. Definitely heavier on the blush today because my eyeshadow is pretty plain, so I felt like the blush can go crazy, and I'm gonna probably have a very just plain, boring, glossy lip. I realized I never did my inner corner highlighter. I am so sorry, that was a mistake. I'm going to use Luna. This is the Cosmetics Cosmic Pearl Dewy eyeshadow. These are really nice. These are like the ultimate smooth inner corner liner, inner corner highlighter, while still being super, super shiny. They are slightly like mushy, so they do sometimes not pick up super easily on a brush, so I do prefer using a natural hair brush for them. I love the products Cosmetics has been releasing, especially those new pillowy blushes and the quad and everything. Like, I love what I've been seeing from the brand, but I just cannot in good conscience right now support anything Michelle Phan is up to. Like, a lot of the things she's involved in are just so predatory, and I just can't jive with that, which is it's such a shame. I would totally have bought from her so many times. And I feel like with her, I've been far more blasé about finding excuses to still buy from her just because of the fact that, like, oh, fellow Asian creator, Michelle Phan is the OG. Like, there's just that element there. And Cosmetics as an aesthetic, I love the minimal aesthetic, I love the logo. So I feel like I've already given her way more chances than other brands and other creators, but I can't do it anymore. It's too bad because the products that Cosmetics releases are truly so special. They are very similar to Korean products, but even then, I can't necessarily say all of them are identical. Like those new Pillow Soft blushes, there's not really a true equivalent in the Korean market to those. The closest ones to me would be maybe the Holika jelly dough ones, but those I think have long since been actually discontinued. But yeah, I really want to support and buy from Cosmetics more often. The products intrigue me. I love looking at them. I love the thought of putting them on just makes me so happy, and it really does break my heart that I can't buy from them right now, but maybe in the future, I don't know. I never say no forever, but as of right now, nothing has really changed my mind yet. I know this is super bland, but I'm gonna use the highlighter that's in here. It's a little bit more subtle, and it is very, very smooth, which is good because my skin is just so textured and dry. And as usual, I do always like using my finger for my highlighter. I'm gonna take a little bit of the brightening powder in here. I'm getting shiny again. The powder still could not fully conceal the dryness, and I don't know. It's like I'm simultaneously dry and sticky at the same time. I think I could benefit from some eyeliner. I'm gonna use the Extreme Gelpresso pencil liner in 01. And I'm not trying to do anything terribly drastic because I don't want the eyeliner to overtake the eyeshadow. I'm gonna do the eyelashes now, and then I'll do the lipstick as a very last thing, I think is what I'll do. Okay, so I did a light layer of waterproof mascara, and then I did some lower lash mascara, and I actually thought that maybe it would be fun for me to put my lashes on camera, because I like never do that, by using these clippings as individual clusters. I'm gonna use this one first. Okay, my left eye definitely cooperated much better that time. I'm debating if I even want to edit this, but if I don't edit it, it will have been a waste of a filming session, and I don't have the spoons to just keep tossing out bad filming sessions. I will recurl them and then I will add more mascara and see if that can help integrate these. I feel like I just completely ruined how my lashes could have looked so good and I ruined it. I just need to buy actual individual clusters. I've been meaning to for so long now and it never happened. And as usual, I'm focusing the product on the root. My favorite time of using a mascara is the last month of its life. It's so ironic that like mascaras they expire the fastest, but they're at their highest quality right before they die. Okay, so my lashes did not come through for me today. I screwed up on multiple fronts, but they could be worse. I think I may actually have a container of clusters downstairs in my clean makeup bin down on my kitchen counter. I'll have to go look. Okay, sorry that this video is such a disaster. I definitely did not mean for that to happen. On the bright side, it's been so long that my oils are mixing with the powder in such a way that my complexion actually finally looks decent. Okay, I'm going to start off with my lip liner. Yeah, I really want to stop needing to hold up a hand mirror the whole time. That was the Dovey Pink lip liner. Nothing terribly new or special there. I've just been using that for months on end now. Okay, I'm just gonna use this shade 617. This is my most commonly used shade in this range because it just kind of goes with everything. It's just a very basic, it kind of reminds me of the Dior Rosewood Lip Glow Oil. It reminds me of that being similarly versatile, so I'm just gonna use this today. It's been so long since I busted one of these out, which is kind of a crime. The video has finally come to an end. I'm just gonna leave my hair messy bun. So this is going to be my finished look, mostly using the Tom Ford Valentine's Day products. I am sorry that this video was such a cluster, but I tried my best. I feel like I was able to make an okay recovery. To sum up my thoughts on the E.L.F. Jelly Pop Primer, I don't know if this is gonna be for me, at least during the winter. I feel like this didn't really hydrate my skin because like after I let it set down, my skin felt tacky, but it didn't feel hydrated. Like it was like my skin had absorbed all the moisture and left nothing for the makeup. As a winter primer, this is gonna have to be a no from me. I can't seem to really make it work. It's just not hydrating enough. Other than that, everything else I used is fine. Like I said with Tom Ford, I don't even think I can give you a review of Tom Ford because even if I say it's good, I just don't think, objectively speaking, any makeup could ever be good enough to be worth the amount of money that Tom Ford puts on their makeup. I just feel like there is a certain price ceiling beyond which, for makeup in particular, it just is like, okay, you have to know that it's kind of a frivolous use of coin to buy it. I've never used eyeshadows quite like those before, so I'm very, very interested in continuing to mess around with these. The blush is amazing. I knew I'd like the blush. My expectations were super high, but they were met and smashed. I'm so happy with the blush. I borderline could say the blush is worth it because the color is just such a pretty warm color. It is just such a pretty color. I mean, like this is not actually a blush color. I feel like it's done really, really well very, very often in lower price brackets. This is just such a beautiful color. Like I love warm bricky orange corally toned blushes. My favorite warm tone blush is the Armani Neo Nude Color Balm, that warm corally one. That is one of my other favorites, so of course no surprise that I like this one as much as I do. Absolutely love this blush. I'd say if you were gonna buy one thing from the Valentine's Day collection from Tom Ford, absolutely go for the blush, especially since Honeymoon is a re-promote. Other than that, I'm gonna go ahead and end this video here. I've talked on for long enough. Hopefully I can edit this down to something more reasonable. Thank you guys for sticking with me so far. I am sorry that this video definitely is not up to my standards, so I'm sorry if it's not up to yours, but thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Until then, take care. Goodbye.